There was once a woman, a single mother, who found herself in one of the hardest positions life can place a person in. She was alone, raising a child, with no steady job, no support system, and almost no money. Her story began with struggle. The father of her child was gone, and she was left with all the responsibility. The rent was overdue. Bills piled up on the table. The refrigerator was often empty. And every night, after her child fell asleep, she would sit at the edge of her bed and cry quietly, wondering how she was going to survive another day. She could have given up. She could have collapsed under the pressure. But instead, she looked at her child, sleeping peacefully, and she made a decision. No matter what it takes, I will not let my child grow up in poverty. I will not let life defeat me. I will give everything I have to give them a better future. That decision became the turning point of her life. The days that followed were not easy. She worked small jobs just to put food on the table. Some mornings, she cleaned houses. Some afternoons, she sold food by the roadside. At night, she took sewing work, mending clothes for neighbors. She barely slept. Sometimes she skipped meals so her child could eat. Her body was tired, her feet swollen, her mind constantly worrying. But she kept going. Neighbors whispered about her. Some doubted her. Some said she would never make it. But none of that mattered. She carried her struggle silently because she wasn't living for herself anymore. She was living for her child. Poverty is cruel. It doesn't just take away money, it takes away dignity. It takes away peace, and it tries to take away hope. But she refused to let it take her hope. She believed in a future where her child could rise higher than her, and that belief kept her alive. As her child grew, she sacrificed even more. She never bought new clothes for herself. Every extra coin went into school fees, into food, into small savings. When other parents gave up on education because it was too expensive, she refused. She told herself, "My child will learn. My child will not be trapped by the same poverty that trapped me." She sold her jewelry to pay for books. She took loans to keep her child in school. She worked double shifts when fees were due. She never complained to her child, never let them see how much she was suffering. She carried the pain alone so her child could carry hope. And here is the lesson. Real love sacrifices. Success often begins with someone who was willing to pay the price so another person could have a chance. Behind every great story, there is often someone who gave up everything to keep the dream alive. But she didn't just provide food and school. She taught her child values. She taught them that nothing in life comes easy. She taught them discipline, integrity, and resilience. She told her child, "Never forget where you came from. Never forget the struggle. And never stop working hard." While other kids had fancy toys, her child had lessons in responsibility. While other kids got pocket money, her child got wisdom. She showed by example that strength is not about comfort, it's about endurance. That resilience is not about never falling, it's about rising every time you do. Years passed. Her child grew. At first, it was hard for the child to understand why life was so difficult. But eventually, they realized their mother's strength. They saw her work 3 jobs. They saw her tears at night. They saw her prayers in the morning. And instead of becoming bitter, they became determined. They studied hard. They excelled. They carried their mother's sacrifices as fuel in their heart. Every lesson she planted grew into strength within them. By the time they entered university, They had already developed the mindset of a leader. While others complained, they worked. While others wasted time, they pushed forward. That child, raised in poverty, grew up to become something extraordinary. Not just successful, but a CEO. A CEO who built a company from scratch, fueled by discipline, resilience, and the values of a single mother who refused to give up. And when the world asked them, "What made you who you are today?" they didn't talk about money. They didn't talk about connections. They said, my mother's sacrifices, my mother's struggles, my mother's love. She is the reason I am who I am today." And the mother, now older, looked at her child, a leader, an employer of others, a respected voice, and she realized that all the nights of hunger, all the tears, all the sacrifices were worth it. This story isn't just about one mother and one child. It's about you. It's about understanding that no matter how broken your life feels, no matter how heavy your struggle, there is greatness hidden inside it. Here are the lessons we must take. Sacrifice is the foundation of legacy. What you give up today may be the very thing that creates freedom tomorrow. Poverty doesn't have to define your future. It can either be a prison or a platform. The choice is yours. Your children learn from what you do, not what you say. This mother taught her child through action, not words. Discipline outlasts struggle. The values you plant in hard times will carry you through good times. Love is the greatest motivator. When you love deeply, you find strength you never thought you had. Maybe you're a parent right now, struggling to provide for your children. Maybe you're a student, watching your mother or father sacrifice for you. Or maybe you're someone who feels like life has cornered you with responsibilities you can't handle. Learn from this story. Don't give up. Your sacrifices matter. Your hard work matters. Your pain has purpose. One day someone will look back and say, "Because of you, I made it. Because of you, I didn't quit." The story of this single mom shows us something timeless. One person's strength can shape the destiny of generations. So let me ask you, what sacrifices are you making today for the future you dream of? What values are you planting now that will one day grow into greatness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story may inspire someone else who is ready to give up. And if this touched your heart, subscribe to Motivational Dose. Because here, we tell real stories that remind you, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how impossible it feels, you can rise, you can overcome, and you can create a future greater than your past. Your struggle today is not the end. It's the beginning of a testimony. Keep going. Your victory is coming. God bless you.